Greetings and salutations. This is Wolfphototech, and welcome back to the channel. I got a rather thin book, but a rather delightful book. This happens to be the Quickstart guide for Dragonbane. Now, this is published here in the United States by Free League Publishing. It sells on Amazon for typically $9.99 or $6.99. Mind-blowingly cheap price. If you are even mildly interested in this system, this is the option you want to go with first. Okay, if you are mildly interested, watch all my videos with Dragonbane in it. And then, if you're still interested, buy this book. It's dirt cheap. It's so cheap that you almost might even want to buy it and have it mailed to you and watch my videos or watch other videos as well on YouTube. But it's not a terribly thick book, as you can see before. It opens up. It's actually rather well constructed. The cover page is actually fairly thick. Each sheet is fairly good thickness inside of it as well. It's only about, oh my goodness. This is one of those books where they don't even have to put a page number in it. But anyways, it's not a terribly long book. You open it up and you come immediately to this page with all the people that have worked on this book. And then you go straight to the introduction. This is a no-nonsense book, and it just goes right to it. It basically walks you over what is a TTRPG, but also some of the essential mechanics such as rounds, stretches, and shifts, and roughly how much time it takes to do each thing within those. It quickly explains what kind of dice you need, what optional rules might be included in here, your player character or your PC. It quickly explains the stat system in it as well. It actually has quite good artwork. You got a standard human, an elf, and a dwarf. They all walked into a bar. The dwarf, incidentally, walked under the bar. He didn't get it. But anyways, it's the standard 6 stats with some name changes. Instead of dexterity, you got agility. Instead of wisdom, you got willpower. Works out fine as it is. It's the same basic concept. However, if you've played a D20 game system like Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder or any of the derivative systems off of it, which incidentally, Dragonbane is a system that was based off of older editions of Dungeons and Dragons, has been modified and updated over the years. Instead of being a roll to hit, roll a number, add a modifier to it, and see if you are high enough to hit a target, it is like a variant of THAC0, but exceedingly simplified. It's a roll under system. You want to roll lower, not higher in this system. So anyways, rolling a 1 on a d20 means you are particularly successful. Rolling a dragon in combat. Rolling a dragon roll has a specific effect, increasing the damage of the attack. For example, outside of combat, the GM decides the effect. Some suggestions right here. So instead of nat 20 being good and a nat 1 being bad, it's a nat 1 that's really good, and it's nat 20 that's really bad. So it flips it. It kind of replicates the somewhat of the THAC0 system of wanting to bring armor class down to 0, to hit armor class 0, without doing the funny math of totaling down and reducing armor classes until you hit a specific threshold of 0. In this system, it is, you literally just roll a nat 1, and there you go. Or you roll a really low number that happens to be under the defensive score for the enemy. You happen to have really nice artwork throughout the entire book. It's actually exceedingly well explained. There's even an opposed rolling system rules here as well. explaining things. There's a quick section on combat and damage, how to do it, how to round initiative, and so forth. And it's just actions, movement. They can condense it down to such a nice fluid flow for the system that it's not terribly difficult. And you have stuff you can do like dodging, parrying, and so forth. Rules on critical hits, prone targets, and so forth. Section on damage, as well as armor ratings and helmets and all that other fun stuff that factors into everything. Saving life, instant death, and rallying. Other hazards in the system, adventures, as well as healing. You got a section on monsters in this book. The monsters really have that old school vibe to them. You got a little section on magic, some maps, and you even have an adventure that's also included in here. I'm going to flip a few pages. I'm going to skip right past the adventure, and I'm going to get right to the back and get right behind the enemy, the characters. And it's important to note that there's one thing I do not like in this book is that the artwork for the character and the extra information reworded for them is on the back side of the sheet and not on the front side, so it's not facing each other. So this character right here was the character whose information is on the other side of the sheet, and then this right here is an entirely different character right here. It's on the other side of the sheet, which is Aurelia Moonsilver, which is an elf. And then you have Mekadar Halfbay, which is a mallard. And mallards are unique because they actually have two special abilities used for their kin. They use the term kin as opposed to race or species, which I absolutely like. It's a if you look at the sheet, this is not even his sheet right here. His sheet is on the other side. I have to go back to his sheet. But everything you need to know about the character is on the back side of the sheet, on one side of the sheet. So this is for the mallard. And incidentally, you notice that there's hit points and willpower. Willpower is basically how you cast spells in the system. So if you have a high enough willpower, you can cast multiple spells out of that pool of points. And hit points happens to be your life force. And you don't get a whole lot of them either in this system. The system very much has more of the classic feel of classic D&D, predating Dungeons & Dragons 3.5. However, it also has some 3.5 sprinklings in it. So, yeah. Also, there is Wolfkin. If you want to play a Wolfman, there you go. You have a wolf person. So that's cool. So you got your you got your humans, you got your elves, you got your dwarves, you got your halflings, and then they throw in a duck person and a wolf person. Now, personally, I would have loved a cat person. However, I'll take the wolf and the duck person as a bonus points to the system. I do very much like this. Every time I have yet to, by the way, I have yet to play this, but I have played other systems and game mastered other systems that are roll under. Every time I play one of those roll under system, like Call of Cthulhu or Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, I really, really wish they would catch on more because they are so much easier to play quickly. All you need for a roll under system is you need a number for a stat, and you just have to take your D20 and you roll, or your D100, or roll, and if you roll under that number, you succeed. If some systems like Call of Cthulhu 7th edition has halves and 1/5 increments, which you roll under and then you get a better level of success. I just really, really like roll under systems. I don't really care for roll and add modifier to it. I really like roll and beat it under a certain number for kind of system. So there you go. I hope you absolutely enjoyed this video. Personally, I would say this system looks like it's definitely in that 3.75 to 4.25 star preliminary score range. The more I look into it, the more I like it. And the more I like it, naturally, I want to play it and I want to run it. But it's hard enough as it is to get people to play something other than Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition or Pathfinder 2nd edition. Every kind of increment over and change makes it more difficult. And it's just... only if they gave more systems more tries. And incidentally, I've managed to get people to play Call of Cthulhu with me. And I've actually ran it and I got to play it myself. And all those people really love Call of Cthulhu 7th edition. It's just really hard. And I got a guy in my main group who has a curse. By the way, I always wondered if his curse with dice was an actual thing. Or he just happened to be really bad at rolling sometimes. Or frequently enough it's noticeable. Oh my goodness. Yes. In Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition or Pathfinder or anything like that, he would roll really low all the time. He would be lucky to get over a 10 on a roll. You flip that to Call of Cthulhu and he's rolling 90s and 80s and 70s. And like a few times he gets like a 96 and a 95. And I'm like, dude, honestly, you are cursed. And by the way, if you rolled a slightly worse roll, you would have had a critical failure with your gun, or you would have had critical failure with something. So, yeah, you are definitely cursed. But anyways, I really do like this. It's very well made. I love the artwork. It's very well organized. There is no table of contents in this book, but it's so short that you can literally just page through it, read it very quickly, and you basically get the gist of how the whole thing runs pretty easy and not have too much difficulty. So there you go. I wonder if that's an error. I got a thing that says magic, and then I have this blank section right here. I don't know. It might be an error. Or it might be over here. But this is like the one time... Oh, map. That's a map right there. And you pull the map out just like in the old Advanced Dungeons & Dragons modules. It's the center staples. That's why that's like that, because those are the center of the staples in the saddleback. But anyways, I hope you have a delightful day, a nice night, a wonderful weekend, a magnificent month, and see you next time. Ciao.